Beyond the Bible, there exist traditions that were never counted among the Holy Scriptures. They were read and passed on, yet not accepted as foundations of faith. One of these traditions bears the name, the Testament of Solomon. It speaks of Solomon, son of David, king of Jerusalem, to whom wisdom was given, and to whom authority was granted over spirits and demons, those in the air, upon the earth, and beneath the earth. The text tells of how these powers afflict humankind, and by what authority they are restrained and bound. The following narratives in this series are based on the tradition of the Testament of Solomon and are presented here in a condensed narrative form. And Solomon was king in Jerusalem, to whom wisdom had been given by God. And he ruled not over men alone, but was granted understanding of the powers that work in secret. For there are spirits that afflict humankind, not openly, but in hidden ways. They take what does not belong to them. They weaken the body and bend the soul, and many do not perceive them, for they are not seen with the eyes. But Solomon perceived that the building of the temple was not fashioned of stone alone. For as long as hidden powers were at work, no labor could be brought to completion. And so authority was given to him, not by his own strength, but through the name of God, to examine, to bind, and to question, not to destroy, but to establish order. For every spirit had its name, its sign, and its boundary, and none was permitted to act unless authority had been granted to it. Thus began the revelation of the powers that came before Solomon, not all at once, not in the light of day, but one after another, as they worked in secret among humankind. And the first to be revealed was Ornias. It came to pass in those days, when the temple of the city of Jerusalem was being built, and the craftsmen were occupied with the work, that toward evening a demon came among them, whose name was Ornias. Each day he took from the son of one of the master builders half of his wages and likewise half of his food. And it happened daily that Ornias seized the thumb of the child's right hand and sucked upon it. And though the child was greatly loved, and the king granted him double wages and abundant food, he nevertheless grew weaker from day to day, and wasted away visibly. When the king perceived this, he summoned the child to himself and said to him, "Do I not love you more than the other laborers? Have I not given you double wages and more food than the rest? Why then do you grow weaker hour by hour?" Then the child answered and said, "I beg you, O king, hear what has befallen me. For every evening, after we are released from the work of the temple, and I lie down to rest, an evil demon comes to me. He takes from me half of my wages and half of my food, and he grasps my right hand and sucks upon my thumb. Therefore my soul is oppressed, and my body grows weaker with each passing day." When Solomon heard this, he entered the temple of God and prayed with his whole soul, by day and by night, that the demon might be delivered into his hand, and that authority over it be granted to him. And it came to pass that grace was given to him by the Lord through Michael the archangel. And it came to pass, while Solomon remained in the temple of God, and prayed by day and by night, that the demon might be delivered into his power, that grace was granted to him by the Lord, and the archangel Michael was sent to him. He brought to him a ring, small in form, yet great in power, bearing a seal of an engraved stone. And Michael spoke to Solomon, saying, "Take this ring, O Solomon, son of David, for the Lord, the Most High Sabaoth, has given it to you. With this seal you shall bind the demons of the earth, both male and female, and through them you shall bring to completion the building of Jerusalem. But wear this seal of God and keep it with care." And the sign of the seal engraved upon the ring was a pentalpha. Then Solomon praised the God of heaven and earth. And on the following day he summoned the boy to himself and gave him the ring and said to him, "Take this seal, and at the hour when the demon comes to you, cast the ring upon his chest and say to him, 'In the name of God, come forth. King Solomon summons you. And afterward, run to me at once. Do not fear what you may hear.' And the boy took the ring and went his way. And it came to pass at the appointed hour, when evening had come, and the boy had laid himself down to rest, that the demon Ornias returned to him. And he appeared with great violence, like a burning fire, to take the boy's wages. But the boy remembered the words of the king, and he took the ring and cast it upon the chest of the demon, and said, 'King Solomon summons you.' And when the demon heard this, he cried out loudly and said, 'Child, why have you done this to me? Take the ring from me, and I will give you the gold of the earth. Remove this seal from me and return it to Solomon.' But the boy answered him and said, 'As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives, I will endure you no longer. So come now.' And the boy ran swiftly to the king, without fear. But the demon followed after him, weeping and lamenting and pleading with a loud voice. And he promised the boy silver and gold of the earth, if only he would not bring him to Solomon. And the boy came to Solomon and said, 'O king, my lord, I have brought the demon, as you commanded me. And behold, he stands before the gates of your palace, crying out loudly and pleading for mercy.' And when Solomon heard this, he rose from his throne and went out into the courtyard of his palace. And behold, the demon stood there, trembling and shaking. And Solomon said to him, 'Who are you?' And the demon answered and said, 'My name is Ornias.' And Solomon said to him, 'Tell me, O demon, under which sign of the zodiac you stand?' Then Ornias answered and said, 'Under the sign of Aquarius, and those who are seized by desire for noble virgins, these I strangle. And when I am in a state of frenzy, I change into 3 forms. For when men are inflamed with love for women, I transform myself into a beautiful woman, and I seize them in their sleep and play with them. And afterward, I take wings again and fly into the heavenly regions. I also appear as a lion, and all demons obey me. I am the offspring of the archangel Uriel, the power of God. And when Solomon heard the name of the archangel, he praised the God of heaven and earth. And he sealed the demon and commanded him to cut stones for the building of the temple. And after Solomon had sealed the demon, he commanded him to cut stones for the building of the temple of God. For the stones that lay along the shore of the Sea of Arabia were to be brought for the work. And Ornias began to labor, yet he feared iron. And the demon spoke to Solomon, saying, I beg you, O king, set me free, and I will bring you all the demons. But he was unwilling to submit himself to the authority of Solomon. Then Solomon prayed to the archangel Uriel for assistance. And behold, Uriel came down from heaven. And the angel commanded the monsters of the sea to come forth from the abyss. And in the book of Ezra, the male sea monsters are called Behemoth, and the female are called Leviathan. And the archangel cast the lot upon the ground, the lot that subjected the great demon to his authority. And he commanded the mighty Ornias to cut the stones for the temple and to bring the work to completion. Then Solomon praised the God of heaven and earth. And after Solomon had subdued the demon Ornias, he called him to himself and gave him the ring with the seal. And Solomon said to him, Go forth and bring to me the prince of all demons. So Ornias took the ring and went away. And he came to Beelzebul, who held dominion over the demons. And Ornias said to him, Come, King Solomon calls you.